Good morning, children. Today we are going to study Class 9 Science, Chapter 6 Tissues, Module 1. In this module, we are going to study about what are tissues, why do plants and animals have different tissues, classification of plant tissues, and a detailed study of meristematic tissues. Okay, children, let us start with the chapter. We all know that all living organisms, they are made up of cells. These organisms may be unicellular like bacteria, yeast, protozoans, or they may be multicellular like plants, animals, human beings. Now, these multicellular organisms, they are composed of millions of cells and that also of different types. These cells, they group together in order to perform specific functions of the body. And these group of cells having similar structure or work together to perform specific function is known as a tissue. For example, blood. Blood is composed of different types of cells like red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets. So, blood is a tissue. Xylem tissue found in plants, phloem tissue found in plants. These are the examples. Now let us study what are the differences in the basic characteristics of plants and animals. Therefore, different types of tissues are present in plants and animals. Like plants, they are stationary or they remain fixed at one place. Whereas animals, they are continuously moving in search of food, mates and shelter. Plants, they are generally large in size as compared to the animals. Now, plants, they require more strength as they have to face winds, storms, bright sunlight. And animals, they require more energy as they are moving in search of food, mates and shelter. Plants, they require less maintenance as their body structure is not complex, whereas animals, they require more maintenance as their body is composed of cells to tissues to organ, and organs, they form different organ systems. So the body of animals is more complex. So these were the few differences in the basic characteristics of plants and animals, due to which the different types of tissues are found in plants and animals. Now children, let us start with the classification of the plant tissues. As we know that plants, they are multicellular bodies and we know that they are made up of different types of cells. So all these cells or group of cells, they are working in different directions. For example, here when we are talking about classification, we broadly classify plant tissues as meristematic tissue and permanent tissues. Meristematic tissues are having the cells which are capable of continuous cell divisions, whereas the cells found in permanent tissues, they are mature cells and they are not capable of cell division. The permanent tissues, they can be further classified as simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. Simple permanent tissues, they are made up of one type of cell, whereas complex permanent tissues, they are made up of different types of cells. The simple permanent tissues are further classified as parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, and the complex permanent tissues, they are classified as xylem and phloem. In this module, we are going to do the detailed study of meristematic tissues. Now children, let us study the characteristics of meristematic tissue. Now these tissues, they have cells which are similar in structure and they have thin cellulose walls. The cells found in meristematic tissues may be round, oval, polygonal or rectangular in shape. They are compact, having no intercellular space. Like if you see here, these are polygonal cells which are closely packed together. They are compact. Compact means closely together. Okay, and the intercellular space is not there, and if it is there, it is very less. There is a large nucleus and abundant cytoplasm found in these types of cells. Here these black dots, they are showing you the nucleus. They are representing the nucleus. The nucleus is large in size in these cells. Why? Because as I have told you, they are continuously dividing, and the nucleus contains the material for the cell division like DNA. So the nucleus is large in size. The cytoplasm is abundant. Abundant means it is present in large amount. As these cells are continuously dividing, they require a large amount of energy. The protoplasm contains very few or no vacuoles at all. As we know that vacuoles, they provide the rigidity to the cells. And if a cell is rigid, it will prevent it from further differentiation or division. That's why the vacuoles are very less or absent in meristematic cells. Now let us see the functions of the meristematic tissues. Meristematic tissue, they are also called as parent tissue. Why? Because these are undifferentiated cells. Their function is not specific, and parent tissue from which other tissue develops. They help in the development of the many other types of tissues. That's why they are called as parent tissue. Now growth. These tissues, they take part in growth by formation of new cells. The meristematic tissue, they also help plants to continuously produce new leaves, stem branches, flowers, fruits, root hairs and root branches. And whenever a plant gets injured, the healing of the injury takes place with the help of formation of new cells. And again, the role of meristematic cells comes here. Now children, this meristematic tissue, on the basis of the position and function, they are divided into three types, like apical meristematic tissue, intercalary meristematic tissue and lateral meristematic tissue. Now the apical meristematic tissue, they are generally found in root apex and shoot apex. In the shoot apex, the plant is growing upwards, and root apex, the root is growing downward. That means this apical meristem, the movement is linear. Then intercalary, that is between the nodes, and lateral meristem, which is helping in increasing the diameter. Now let us study about the apical meristematic tissue. Apical meristematic tissue is generally found in root or shoot apices. Now in the shoot, the plant is growing upwards, and in the root, the plant is growing downwards. Here the linear growth of cells is upwards in the shoot apical meristem, and whereas in the root apical meristem, the growth is downwards. So we can say that apical meristematic tissue, it is present in the tips of the stems and roots, and they help in the growth of stems and roots. Now intercalary meristematic tissue, it is present at the base of the leaves. The point from where the leaf arises is called as a node. So, this distance between two nodes is called as a internode. Intercalary meristem, it helps in the increasing the length of the internode. Coming to the third type, that is lateral meristematic tissue. These tissues are present in the sides of the stems and roots. For example, cambium in the stem and root. Lateral meristematic tissues, they help in the secondary growth of the plants by the formation of the cambium, and we can say that they help in increasing the girth or the diameter of the stems and roots. The lateral meristem, we can say that it usually occurs on the sides of stem and root. Now children, in your book one activity is given. You have to take 2 onions and fill 2 tumblers or glass with water and place the onions like this. And after that, you have to observe the growth of root in both the onion bulbs for few days. Like, keep them like this for, let us, around 2 to 3 days. And after that, what you will do, just name these glasses as B and A. Now once the roots they start growing, observe them, and on the 4th day what you can do, you can cut the roots of the glass onion present in the glass A. Now again observe it for few days. You will observe that now the growth is taking place either very slowly or there is no growth. Why is it so? And whereas the onion placed in glass B, the roots they have grown longer. Why? Because you have cut the apex of the root, and if you cut the apex of the root, the meristematic cells they are present in the apices, and if you cut that, the growth will stop. We can say that root tip of the onion has specific type of tissue called as meristematic tissue, which helps in the growth of the plant. So this shows that the onion roots in glass A will be shorter and the onion roots in the glass B will be longer. Now children, thank you. In this module, we have studied only the types of meristematic tissues and one activity. Thank you.